I remember that this device, this Microsoft HoloLens, came like, I don't know, 1 year ago, and it was in the beginning it was like a nice toy. No one can, you can put a elephant hologram and see it, but you cannot do any real stuff. Now one year after, and I think I have some real use cases for the construction, what you can really do with it. Of course there is some limitations, it's a new technology, but still there is already something that company has started using and see that it's beneficial. So yeah, there's a lot of these short terms, AR, VR, MR, so augmented reality, virtual reality, and mixed reality. So different technologies, a little bit what are those and what is that one there, the Microsoft HoloLens. Then how Trimble, how are we, what are we doing with Microsoft, why are we having their device and what are we doing with using those? And of course it's always many questions are, what kind of machine or device is that? So let's go a little bit through that. And then the most important, what has been done. I think last half year there's a lot of case examples, and from YouTube and from internet you can find much more. So, like I mentioned, there's different use cases and different technologies. Maybe start from the mixed reality. So it's a difference. So with those glasses you can see, for example, this room, and then you can see some hologram top of that. So it kind of merges the digital and the physical environment. Augmented reality, there is not too many kind of examples for this, but this is just adding some information. Using, for example, mobile phone. When you're purchasing a new sofa to your home, you can watch through your mobile phone and see it, okay, it looks like this. So it doesn't really merge, it kind of just puts that top of and creates a flat picture. There's, with the Microsoft HoloLens, it's a three-dimensional hologram, which is kind of, you can walk inside the model, you can see it up there, behind, or in different directions. And then the virtual reality, that's kind of, you can see from the glasses that you're in totally different world. You cannot see what's happening here. And some people say that with this you might get dizzy, but with mixed reality glasses you see from what's happening here, so it's easier to start using it. But there's different use cases, I think. We're not kind of comparing what are what, but today we're concentrating this mixed reality and Microsoft HoloLens. And a little bit what can be done. So here you can see that this is from Microsoft, that they have compared a bit these different technologies, and with mixed reality you can do a little bit more than, for example, with the AR, the VR. But none of those are replacing the real world. And this is maybe not that new technology. Someone used this a long time ago, maybe with using some mirrors and some small openings there. You could see in the middle of the village or the town that what the new building could look like there. So old ways, but new technology. So yeah, Trimble HoloLens started, I think this was 2 years ago. What I heard that they put Microsoft HoloLens developers and Trimble developers in one room and gave 2 months time to start doing something and get some results. And what they did is that it was concentrated, focused that it will be related to construction industry. Of course, Trimble is doing software for the construction industry, and that's why they were focusing on that. And they were checking that what could be the different use cases, how you can use it. And as a Trimble, we have like two different applications. SketchUp Viewer, it's already published, and then there's the Trimble Connect for HoloLens, which is still under development. That is what we're demoing back there today. little bit different use cases for those, but just the whole idea is that showing the hologram, some kind of building, some whole area or city through this, and then you can walk inside there. You can have a small model, a big model, and manipulate the model as you like. So what about the actual device? It's always asked that, what is that? So it's actually a computer, and I think it says here that it's compared to 2 or 3 mobile phones, the latest mobile phones that we have. So it's a wearable computer on your head. It has a Windows 10, so you can add a keyboard there with the Bluetooth. Always the same problems with the Microsoft. You need HoloLenses, that you need to find the Wi-Fi and writing the long password with the hands, and it takes some time. So it needs a bit training, but don't worry, we have the training end of the presentation. So these are the kind of the specifications, the features that makes the HoloLens really like special. So you can see that there is sensors. It's scanning all the time the room. When you lock the model there and start walking, it knows that you're moving. Where are you going? So you can see the model, real three-dimensional model all the time. It has video cameras and different kind of things, so you can walk and take videos and these kind of things. And of course, this is the lenses where the hologram is kind of projected. So looking through these, you can see the real world and the three-dimensional hologram. And maybe the most special thing is that, okay, it's a small device, but it has a lot of power. So this is kind of the magic sauce for the whole device, is that there is a lot of power in small package, and it can understand really many sensors and different kind of things. So this makes when you're moving and these kind of things, even if you go down, it understands that you can see the model lower than. And one good feature that we are not that much using is the sound. So it really has a good sound. So if I add something on that corner, I will hear it, that it hears like that it's really on that corner. So it kind of spatial sound for that. And that can be used in different ways, but in our 3D models it hasn't been used that much yet. Okay, what about the use cases then? What has been done lately? So let's go through a couple of things, and these are first of all, of course, if you have a model, what we want to use it, that we want to show for example the client that what kind of building we are planning to build for that, and we can show it at the office, or we can go outside and see it on a full scale how it looks like. Then it supports, of course, the detailed models, so we can check, for example, rebars and all the details there, and we can use that also for the installation. And then the maintenance work also. So if we have a new building and it's fully modeled, then we can start using that full model for the maintenance works, and there is some examples from that. So this is NCC. We made some collaboration with. Okay, there's actually sound. That's fine. Well, let's see. Is it in Finnish? Then we need to change it. So this is the traditional way that they're using models. They have some screens and there, but this could be the new way of doing the same. So at the office, put your project top of the table. So from the design table, they went to the site, and let's see how it goes and how it looks like in the correct location. There's some limitations how HoloLenses work outside with the bright sunlight, but as you can see in Finland it's always a little bit dark and cloudy, so it works pretty well. And you can see that there's the depth, so if you can understand that the building is there other side of the road, it doesn't look like that it's right there 1 meter away from you. That's the whole thing with these holograms. So that was kind of project introduction and showing your project for different purposes. So AECOM is one of the largest consultation companies, engineering and everything, and they started kind of already they have several classes. They have this already a process how they go and do use HoloLenses in design coordination. So you don't need always to take the whole model. You can take some really complex design and detail there. Just put that Trimble Connect and then you can access that information with the HoloLenses. And like you can see that they have a couple of 2 or 3 persons and they're looking, they can see the same model. There is actually, I'm not sure if there a use case where you can see that there's this, because it's hard to see what the other person is looking, so there's kind of laser from my eyes that where I'm looking, so it's easier to see that, okay, now you're talking that exact point of the model and what we're talking about. So it actually helps to see what are we talking about, more detail. But they have made already a process of this, that how they will use in all the projects which are probably which are modeled, that they will use HoloLenses in some phase of the design coordination. This is from Sweden, Celsa, the rebar fabricator. This is from their factory that they're manufacturing these ready-made cages that they deliver to site. So here's, you can see that there's the real case and cage, and then there's the planet. So they can put top of those and compare how it looks like. So like I mentioned, that outside it's not fully works fully like 100%, but in the factory facilities, then inside you can use it. And in these videos the depth is, it looks better when you're really using the glasses, you're wearing them, because here it kind of flats the image and it doesn't look, it looks like that the rebar cage is done in correct way, but when the person is looking at, you can see that it's exactly on the correct. Yep, then it's finished, you can compare visually that, is it fine? Okay, NCC did a couple of pilot testing. One was the project introduction, this one the HoloLens in the maintenance phase. And then let's see how this looks like. So they have a new building under construction. And they have the 3D models, so they can start checking, for example, what is installed already, what's missing. Those which are installed are those on the correct level and the correct spot. What about the openings? Looks like the openings are also there. Almost there, maybe a couple of centimeters. Okay. Okay, and last video also is from NCC. This was the latest. I think this could be a little bit same. That let's see, is there something new ways that they have used it. So this is when the building is then done and there's some issues and they want to locate, for example, the water pipes where they're going. So with this you can kind of have the X-ray and see through the wall and see that okay, the water pipes are going behind there where it's going. And this one, which one is it? Is the left or right? Warm and cold, so you can easily then locate which is the easiest way to start fixing the problem. Okay, they're changing the tab. There could be there's a Skype also there, so you can have all the time open line with some engineer at the office who can see different information and try to give them instructions and communicating through that. Well, I think there was some. Yeah. Okay. So, like I mentioned, 1 year ago, I thought it was a nice tool. Now we can see that you can really use it already. I know there's many cases, but there, for example, in the industrial projects that we cannot get any material, but they're working with the big factories and industry projects with the HoloLenses. Then last part is the HoloLens training. It takes 1 minute because using the HoloLens is really easy. There's only two things you need to know. One is the mouse click you normally do like this. With the HoloLens you can use your 2 fingers so the camera, with the HoloLens camera, can see that you are clicking. So that's how the selection and clicking works. Then opening and closing the menu is just open your hand or close it the same way. It will open and close the menu. So those are the things you need to know, and now you can start using the HoloLens. Thank you.
Thank you.